And we have even more Mojo experts coming up. Please welcome Alexander and Peter.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Alex. I'm a news reporter at the Bulgarian National Television, which is the main public television broadcaster in Bulgaria. I've been working there for the past 7 years. Here with me is Peter.
Yeah, my name is Peter. I am also a reporter, but also the host of a program called #Europe, which is about the European Union. And especially right now, Bulgaria is holding the presidency of the Council of the European Union, so I've been doing this for the past 5 months.
So, the reason for us to be here today is that we want to show you some of our Mojo experience, as we've decided to call it. Otherwise, a few of our Mojo stories we've managed to make in the past 2 years. My first touch with Mojo was in 2015 in one of Mojo courses organized obviously by CIRCOM. And since then, we've managed to make between 15 and 16 stories in our newsroom, live streaming, using only our iPhones, tripods, lens, and so on. Now, I really want to say that BNT has invested a lot in its reporters in the last 10 years, I guess, because it has managed to send between 10 and 15 reporters on Mojo courses. It has bought iPhones and tripods, 4G hotspot devices, and they're free for everyone in our newsroom to use them. And we use them and produce regular Mojo stories in our news evening shows. So, if I have to say something about Mojo, is that I think it helps you build 4 great qualities, which everyone news reporter should have. I think that it helps you be more independent, more mobile, more creative, and the last one, which is my favorite, it helps you be quicker. Yeah. So, when I say that it helps you to be more mobile and quicker, I will present you 2 excerpts from 2 of my stories. The first one was done in December 2016. It was winter in Bulgaria, and we have decided to go live stream from a moving snow plow. Now, there's a tradition in Bulgaria when winter comes and there is a heavy snowfall, all TV stations start exploring and searching for if the roads are well cleared of the snow, and if they're not, we start asking the questions, who is to be blamed for this? So my TV station decided to do it differently this year, and we went live streaming from a moving snow plow. The second excerpt, which you will see, was done in June 2017 when me and my cameraman were in Brussels for a conference dedicated on migration. Now, at the same day, there was an attempted terrorist attack in the central railway station in Brussels. Fortunately, there were no casualties or injured people. The whole story is this: we were having dinner on one of the main Brussels squares, and suddenly one of the military patrols started running toward the central station. I saw them and told to my cameraman that something was happening, but he couldn't believe. Exactly 10 seconds after that, all the people on the square started throwing tables and dishes off and running in every direction screaming, "Me too." It turned out later that the man had tried to blow himself on the central station. He managed to explode a gas-containing bottle full of nuts, screws, and other sharp metallic devices. However, while I was running with all other people, I took out my phone from my pocket and started filming. I made some shots of people screaming, trying to take shelter, police evacuating buildings. I made interviews, stand-ups, and all of these we used in our final report, which we sent back to Bulgaria. Here are the excerpts.
Да, здравейте, намираме се от едно от малките снегоринчета, които почистват вътрешно-кварталните улици зад съдебна палата. Направо сега ще ви покажем картина как почистването. Сега обаче повече за самия процес по почистване ще ни разкаже Ангел Милев, който е шофьор на снегорин. Господин Милев, колко пъти минавате днес по това трасе?
Днес това ми е 4-ти път. Просто от навяванията и от валежа, който се получава, е затруднено почистването, но ние за това сме тук.
Експлозивни кадри и интервюта с очевидци от мястото.
Малко след 8:30 вечерта, площад Гранд Плас в Брюксел се изпразни за секунди. Изведнъж 3 войници и полицаи се затичаха към централната гара по тревога.
Видях мъж с къса коса и бяла тениска, буташе количка за багаж. В началото не му обърнах особено внимание, но той започна да крещи нещо.
Район от 1 километър около централната гара беше затворен за движение.
В момента пристигнаха и военни, които претърсват багажа на хората.
След 9:30 полицията и прокуратурата съобщиха, че са ликвидирали атентатор-самоубиец, който е взривил куфър пълен с експлозиви.
Това е Форд. Now, these are the next excerpts. I also said that, in my opinion, Mojo makes you be more creative and independent. So, in December 2016 and in January of 2017, the United States decided to send 6,000 military personnel with Abrams tanks and Bradley vehicles to Europe on a scheduled rotation. NATO invited 10 journalists from all over Europe to cover this process, and one of the conditions for the journalists was to be that they have to be alone, without cameramen. So my TV station decided to send me. I was 2 weeks in Colorado Springs in the United States, then in Poland, and it was a lot of fun to make these stories. I think I made 13 stories, I'm not sure. The hardest part of this was in Poland, where all of these vehicles you will see were having live firing drills. And one of the main rules in Mojo that you don't have to use your digital zoom. You have to move physically with your phone as close to the object of interest as possible. So it was really hard to go nearly 10 meters of this tank firing, but we managed to do it. The third excerpt after these stories is another live stream, this time from a heavy truck moving. Obviously, I do love heavy trucks and snowplows. The reason for this was that the heavy trucks companies in Bulgaria in January were taking great losses because they couldn't deliver their goods on time because of some of the roads were blocked because of the heavy winter. So we again decided to go live on our evening news show using only mobile phones and to make an interview with the driver. Here are the excerpts.
Това е Форт Карсън, дома на 3-та бронирана бригада. 4000 войници, от които ще бъдат разположени в Централна и Източна Европа.
Един от моите отряди ще си партнира всекидневно с нашите съюзници, без значение дали тренираме с леко стрелкови оръжия или провеждаме маневри. Важно е да покажем, че сме заедно.
Голямото предизвикателство е придвижването на военните и техниката през различните европейски държави, по шосе, железопътен път и въздух. Последната композиция с бронирани машини напуска Форт Карсън в Колорадо.
Вече дни наред войниците от 3-та бронирана бригада тренират на полигона край Жаган, стреляйки с танкове Abrams и бронирани машини Брадли.
10 от общо 82 танка днес имат по-специално учение. Задачата на командира на танка е теста да бъде преминат успешно.
Аз съм командирът на този танк. Работата ми е да направя така, че да вземем успешно днешния тест. Направим ли го, продължаваме напред.
Да, здравейте. Както вие казахте, стотици хиляди евро са загубите само от тези няколко дни. Ние в момента се намираме, сега да ви покажем, в един тежкотоварен автомобил, който пътува по северната скоростна тангента на София на път за Калотина. Виждате, веднага да ви покажем, че пътя е изчистен буквално до асфалт, движат се тирове, няма абсолютно никакви проблеми. Иначе загубите ще бъдат стотици хиляди евро. Един тир, както и вие казахте, губи по около 250 евро дневно за пропуснати ползи, за неустойки по договори и какво ли не още. Проблема при автобусните превозвачи е още по-голям, тъй като там има и рекламации от пътници, съответно се е налагало хора, които трябва да тръгнат от Бургас за София, да бъдат пренасочени по други маршрути. Но сега това, което искам да ви разкажем, до мен е Ахмед, който е заместник управител на една такава фирма за тежкотоварен транспорт. И веднага въпросът към Ахмед, кажете ми какво е да престоиш с часове в ледена блокада, както се е случвало не на един от вас и какви са в крайна сметка наистина големите щети за фирмите?
Да престоиш в една такава ледена блокада изобщо не е приятна за който и да е било. Пък загубите, които ги претърпяваме ние като превоз.
Okay, you saw the excerpts. What I really want to say that obviously these materials are not masterpieces, if I can call it this way, but I think they are a good example of what you can do if you have basic Mojo skills in your everyday newsmaking process. If you're in the middle of a sudden event, like I was in Brussels, or you have to be on your own without a cameraman, as I was in the United States and Poland, you can manage to do some good, I think, news storytelling. So with this, I will finish and give the floor to Peter.
Okay, so I really don't have a lot of time. Here I wanted to show you lots of examples of my work, but fortunately we have only a few minutes. As I said, I'm currently the host of a program called #Europe. This is the studio. Before that, so in 2016 and in 2017, I was just a reporter. This was my main job. And I'm a tech reporter because when I started working for BNT, I wanted to find a niche in which I can work and be the specialist, the go-to guy. Turned out that in Bulgaria, there is not a lot of tech reporting. So this was a nice surprise for me, being the person that I am, in love with technology. So with time, I decided to really not just use technology in my daily life as an entertainment tool, but also as a productivity tool in my work. And just to see how technology can enhance my storytelling. And at the same time, I did a lot of reporting on issues such as personal data, computers, and cyber attacks, and so on and so forth. And this is why you can see phones in my reports very often. So today, most of the things that I wanted to talk about have been covered in terms of Mojo. I think when we talk about Mojo, we usually talk about shooting and reporting, shooting and editing. So I wanted to really talk about the other parts of this reporting process, which are sort of even more behind the scenes. And by that I mean planning, writing, researching. And when I decided to transform my phone into a productivity tool, I wanted to do the whole reporting process just with my phone, so from start to finish. And for this, I obviously use a lot of applications on my phone. I can see that lots of you are currently on your phones, but I wanted to ask, how many of you are actually using your phones for journalism? Okay, decent amount. I hope I can teach you or give you some ideas on how to use different apps. The first thing is research. So research obviously takes a lot of time. I'm usually the guy who likes to take his time with the stories, especially when it comes to technology. Alex has been in more sort of breaking news situations. When I'm doing this, I'm usually taking a lot of time, notes and documents and pictures and so on. So I like to use Evernote here because I can dump all of this in one place, and then Evernote lets you very easily search through your notes, which helps me organize the entire piece. Second thing, planning. Obviously, meetings and interviews, and I'm a very organized guy. Journalism is not a very organized profession, but I like to, know my steps so that I can feel more confident. And a few months ago, I discovered OmniFocus, which really helps me. I cannot really demonstrate it now, but if you download it, you'll see that it lets you very easily, schedule everything, and it gives you this sense of order, which could be it could be sort of misleading. For me, it's not, but anyway, this is very useful. Next thing, shooting video, Filmic Pro. This has been covered. I won't talk about this. And finally, writing. This is Bear. Again, I want to usually, if possible, to work in silence. So I like to go out in newsroom with my phone and write my scripts on my phone, which is a bit strange, but I have these moments, and when I have these moments, I usually use Bear. I also like to experiment with my phone, with an N. Which means that I like to, see how it can be physically useful with the smaller size, and you can, as we've seen, shoot from angles which are not possible really with the bigger camera. So I did this report. This is from inside a microwave, and this was a report on can home appliances spy on you. This was after Kellyanne Conway told that they can, and actually stole this idea from Stephen Colbert. I was wondering how they did it, and I figured they did it with their phones. And this is also inside a washing machine. This is one of my favorite reports because it really showed me how using mobile phones can produce something different. When I'm on the road, obviously I can see how phones are more useful than bigger cameras, and when you're alone, you can do lots with it. So first thing is portability, then quick data transfer, really depending on your internet connection. Most of the time, especially in Bulgaria, it's pretty good. taking control of the story because it's a very small but powerful device. So I feel very confident with this, especially when I have like battery. I got this iPhone 8 several months ago, and it's pretty, yeah, it's just more durable, I think. And getting closer to the story, we saw some great examples, I think, yesterday of how with your phone you can get closer to the people you're interviewing. And as someone said, I think, today, they feel more open to you, and you have a better chance of really them telling your stories, their stories. So I'm also going to show an example of my work. This was one of the first things I did as a broadcast reporter. It was 2 years ago. I think 2 months after I started, I didn't have any television experience prior to that, and I went to Blackpool, and I shot this. It's a report about how Brexit is going to influence tourism in Blackpool.
В делничен ден, в средата на октомври, най-известният морски курорт в Англия ще ви накара да настръхнете. По това време Блекпул прилича повече на призрачен град от американски филм, отколкото на място за почивка. Дойде ли уикендът, улиците, атракционите и плажът оживяват едновременно. Но дори ароматът на захарен памук и бомбони не може да прикрие, че най-веселото място в Ланкашир е далеч от най-добрата си форма. В средата на миналия век туристите в Блекпул достигат рекордния брой от 17 милиона годишно. От тогава насам обаче поевтинелият достъп до екзотичните средиземноморски дестинации намалява интереса към града. Членството на Великобритания в Европейския съюз е с основна роля за тази тенденция. През юни Блекпул открито се обяви против него.
Мисля, че е време да си върнем страната обратно. Прекалено много правила и регламенти идват от Европа. Правила, с които трябва да се съобразяваме, а не искаме.
It's a 5-minute report. I won't be able to show all of it. But I also have people who are not against the European Union. We have lots of different, angles in this report. I think it turned out nicely. It was shot with an iPhone 6, so this is why the camera quality is a bit, lower than if I shot it with the 8. But I just wanted to show you the tools that I brought. This was a tripod that we saw earlier, the bigger one. I brought it because it gave me, better angles. I wanted to shoot, these interviews. I couldn't shoot them with the smaller tripods. I have this thing called the Wit Stick. It's a USB flash drive which can be inserted in an iPhone and also a computer, which pretty much saves time, especially if you don't have internet. And finally, this is an external battery. With time, I also bought other things to complement my phone, but these were the things that I used for this report, and I think they're pretty much enough if you want to do some good mobile journalism. And I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say today in this amount of time. So, Alex?
I think this was all by us. Thank you for the time. And if you